It is Wednesday. We are wizards. And today is Wizard Wednesday. Channeling in with Quantum Styles through the Quantum Downs. This is Elf.
And Dotta.
And Bear.
And we've got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to talk a lot today because I'm going to deep dive into some lore that's never really been publicly revealed. So that'll be fun and interesting, I hope. But before we get to... What's that?
You're good.
Okay. Before we get to that, let's do some updates. Magic Machine has been busy AF working on the Halloween event. I can feel the frantic energy just radiating through our team Discord. Dotta, are we going to make it in time?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But everybody is working really, really hard and doing tons of work. We put the pro in provenance, and the team is really showing their true colors and doing an amazing job. So, we've got Bear and Loch Ness working on community outreach. We've got the one who rings and Nisha. So one of the things we're doing for the game engine, if you're interested, is for the online UIs where we have it almost like a game. We're using this new game engine called Godot. And so, yeah, the one who rings and Nisha, our devs, have been working on some of the game development there. We've got Niski, who's working on smart contracts and the API server, and I've been working on contracts for the collection. We even deployed some secret test contracts today, and we've been testing it out. Let's see. And then I know I'm forgetting so many people who are being involved on the day-to-day basis, but there's just a lot of details. The Halloween event is actually, I think we were talking about this morning, I think the Halloween event is actually our most complicated event ever. So it's going to be really fun to have all the attention from other partner communities, and it's going to go off without a hitch.
I feel like every time we do something, you're always like, this is the most...
We got to level up. We got to level up every time.
I was going to say the same thing.
I've heard that before. Every couple months.
Like Beasts, for example, was super complicated, right? Because you had this pairing mechanic where you come together and you unlock a lock, and then once the final lock is unlocked, the gate opens and the beasts come out, and then the beasts are run at an auction which handles millions of dollars, and that went off without a hitch, but it was very sophisticated. But the Halloween event is even more complicated, right? Because we have all these partner collections. I have to pause and make sure I don't reveal anything. We have all of the tricks and the treats, so it's really involved. That said, I think it's actually not as involved as the play to earn game we've got in the laboratory. So you'll hear me say this once again once the Halloween event is over. So stay tuned.
But we will. But to that, we are going to pretty quickly jump into sharing and teasing some stuff right off of the heels of Halloween. So expect some nuggets next week.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
And then we also had an article come out with NFT Now. I hope you all read it because I thought it was one of the best articles I've seen written about Forgotten Runes.
Yeah, that was really fun. We sat down with the author.
Jex.
Yeah, we sat down. We talked to him, and he, was asking tons of really good questions, and we had a nice time with Jex, and he really laid out a good introduction in that blog post.
Yep. Yeah, I love when the whole Forgotten Runes project is just explained in a very clear and easy to understand way, and I think that article did it really well. And I want to get to some cult questions, but before I do that, I want to do something that we haven't done in a while. Let's do an update from the Bearcave on the beach.
Update from the Bearcave.
Wait, did you guys hear the bear roar I just did?
Yeah, we heard it.
Let me do it one more time. Okay, there.
We need Magus Wazir up here with the soundboard. If he's not going to talk, he could at least be.
Yeah. Anyway, Bear, what do you got? How many doors have you opened lately?
Oh, so many. My hands
So
are
many.
raw. My hands are raw from turning doorknobs. Although sometimes the doors are just open and you just walk right in. But
Yeah.
no, doors are opening as usual. We'll keep stepping through them. I was in New York last week. I was so bummed I missed Wizard Wednesday, but for some reason, cell phone reception on like the west side of Manhattan was down all weekend. Anyway, Comic Con was great. We handed out almost 25,000 copies of the comic for free. We had the street team. I know Locke. I was like funneling photos to Locke, and she was posting some of them. But I got to tell you, like being on the front lines and like handing these comics to people along with the street team, it's just like I you get such a rush from like people seeing something like physically, like we work in such a digital environment to have these physical comments and hand them to people, and people love, people when you hand something to someone that's free, their like default reaction is like it's probably crap and it's almost like a flyer. But then like when they realize it's this comic and like a well-made comic at that, their eyes kind of like open wide and they start paging through it and they start asking questions. And so, the whole team is going to have to, I mean, I guess we did in New York, but like I would love for more of the team members to come out at some point and hand these things out because it's really great. Especially, it's great to like hand them to kids because kids love free stuff. They're not questioning anything. I mean, kids would probably love just a regular old flyer, but they're getting a comic book. So that was really cool. It was very busy. Meeting with comic book artists, meeting with comic book distributors. More to come on that, but definitely made some sort of big strides. Feeling really good about what the comic book represents. Moving forward, I think everybody's going to be really happy with what happens next.
Yeah, the work that you do is so important and like unique. I think it was just this week, Elf and I said something that we say quite often, which is like, you basically close a deal, and we are like, that's amazing. We never in 100 years we couldn't have closed that deal, and so
Yep.
we'll announce those sort of things as we can. Part of the problem is that like you often are convincing people who have to go through the proper channels to kind of announce things. And so, we'll announce it when we can, whatever. But you've done such a good job, and I'm excited for everyone to see all the things that the deals you've closed.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's like we've always said, it's it's amazing. You guys are amazing partners to work with, and the whole team is just incredible. Actually, as you were saying, talking about getting ready for Halloween, I just wanted to put it out there. Like, I know all of us have been a part of a lot of startups, some our own, some part of larger organizations. But it's so fun to see our team sort of go through like the maturation, right? Like when you go from it being, I think Locke said this once. We were like, it was very conversational in the beginning, right? Because we're just like in Discord and the Magic Machine server. But now like we're putting processes in place and everybody's like finding their place. And it's like sometimes processes can be a pain in the butt because they do slow things down. So we don't want to get too bogged down. But anyway, it's just nice to see the company sort of maturing and growing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And that was the update from the Bearcave on the beach.
I also did an interview with Lorepunk.
You interrupted the bear growl.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
It was.
We're so professional around here.
It sounds more like gas to me from over here. Just trying to like ignore it.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I also did an interview with Lorepunk for the Punk's Post. So yeah, thanks Lorepunk for putting that out there. I know that's such a important community to kind of like have on our radar, and I think as kind of the Punks being the grandfather kings of the NFT space, we'd really love to have them be a part of our Halloween event, but they get offered quite a lot of things very often, so it's good to kind of bring a little bit more attention there. So yeah, thank you, Lorepunk.
Jitcy, what up, guy?
What up, fam? How we doing?
I invited him up.
How's things over in Kobold Land?
Oh, kobolds, during bear or bull are always having a good time. So, I'm day in, day out. I was like just piggybacking off what Bear was saying. It's like super, it's just great. I get so much excitement working with the team at this point and being around the community. And like, as you were saying, there's just like figuring everything out as we go. And it just like clicks and makes sense. And just wanted to express that gratitude, I guess, towards our entire community and everyone here. It's just like super great because I don't have a single complaint. Best thing I've ever worked on and worked with people that I think are super intelligent. So it's super fun. Just adding that out there, that extra love.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right back at you. It's been great to work with you.
Jitcy is actually a really fun person to have on your team because he is just always extremely enthusiastic. He's always GMing in the Discord. He's always very excited at the all hands meetings. So thanks, Jitcy. Thanks for bringing that kobold energy.
Hey, man. Least I can do.
Okay, we have some cult questions I want to go over real quick. Some of these we may not actually be able to answer. For example, this first one, which is a real banger. TV is asking, curious how the SEC investigation into Bored Apes impacts Magic Machine's plans around royalty distribution, if at all. Dotta,
I don't mind talking about that. Yeah. So, one thing is we have the same lawyers as Bored Apes, which is interesting. So, they've tweeted this out before, so it's public that they work with Fenwick, who we also work with. And so, yeah, for sure. That is a flex, even though I know maybe lawyers aren't household names. We'll talk to quite a lot of people about our plans, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you have good counsel?" And they'll be like, "Oh, we're talking to our guy at Fenwick," and they're like, "Okay, great, yeah, he's the guy to do it." And so, yeah, I mean, this even relates to kind of our DAO, for example, insofar as like part of the reason why it's sort of taking us a long time on continually is getting all of it like buttoned up legally to be this like Cayman Islands Foundation. Though that doesn't have to do with the royalties anyway. All that to say, we have very, very good counsel, the best in the business. Coincidentally, also the best who is representing Bored Apes. I'm not too concerned about Bored Apes SEC investigation overall. But yeah, in terms of our plans, basically my plan is this, which is we're working on a piece of software which we talked about before called Binary Star. Binary Star will let like Forgotten Ruins holders and potentially really any NFT projects holders sort of connect your wallet and then be able to get you would have to KYC through Binary Star, but then be able to get paid when someone wants to license your IP. So whether that's kind of like the special purpose vehicle that Magic Machine will be setting up for the television show, or like some other third party project, right? You could imagine something like, I don't know, like I don't have a deal with Jenkins of the Ballet, but like imagine that project, right? Where they're licensing, they had to build custom software to license the rights from apes. You can imagine Binary Star being sort of an off the shelf software that you could use for that. So, and again, really the like what's happening there is that people are getting paid for the rights in their IP, not kind of just being paid just for owning a token. And so I think that there's quite a bit of separation and like meaningful difference in terms of what we're planning there that isn't affected by the SEC investigation. That said, it does make me a little bit nervous. Like I don't want to end up kind of, subpoenaed for like or like accidentally triggering something for Forgotten Runes specifically. So we are being careful. We have good counsel. It doesn't really change anything. The problem why Binary Star hasn't been shipped yet is not an issue of like regulation, but more just an issue of like bandwidth. Like we're working on Halloween, we're working on this other game, working on a million other things. So it's just mostly just time. So it doesn't really affect it, other than just makes me a bit more nervous. But I don't think it ruins the idea.
Okay. Also, today is Nahua's birthday, so happy birthday to Nahua.
Happy birthday.
And then they also ask, the Halloween event says Bored Apes are included. Does that also include mutant apes? No, it does not. Bored Apes only.
Yeah.
Lorepunk is first. She says, candy corn, yay or nay? Now, my question is, do you mean like candy corn in real life, or is the Nightmare Imp going to give out candy corn? I'm going to say probably the imp will give out candy corn, but candy corn in real life, hell no. Dotta, Bear, what do you guys think?
No.
Oh, well, I'll tell you. I hate candy corn for a long time just because it was so plentiful. And if I am to eat a candy corn, I eat section by section. And
Yeah.
What, like, wait, you mean you eat like the little white part, then the little
Yeah.
orange part, then the little...
Exactly, just like little baby bites, because it doesn't taste that good, but I'm still gonna eat it because I'm a
Right,
garbage
because you need the sugar, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is super weird, Bear. Lorepunk, what's up?
It's not that weird. I do that too.
I
Yeah,
love candy corn, and I eat it the same way that Bear Snake eats it because I want to savor it.
Same.
It's wonderful. You can't get it in the UK, and people send it to me in the post.
And you don't want to mix the flavors.
Yeah.
There's no candy corn. There's no candy corn in the UK.
Well, you can get it, but it's like really expensive.
They're smart.
It's imported and it's really expensive from the so yeah. My friends in America send it to me.
Very interesting. The second question Margaret or Lorepunk was asking was: do wizard/warrior traits affect different tricks or treats? Yes, other people were asking similar questions, like are there different treat tiers per collection? Dotta, do you want to address that?
I think the answer is maybe, which is not being coy. It's literally like that's something that we're figuring out. But like I would say maybe not either. So what we've announced is what you can count on, which is that like for example, wizards have a higher rate of getting a trick. Wizards have a higher rate of getting a treat and a lower rate of getting a trick. But you know, in terms of like the individual character, you'll just have to wait and see. And the follow-up question, which is, does lore presence change imp gifting mechanics? It doesn't. We probably will do lore boosted drops in the future, of course, because it's good behavior we want to encourage. But for a trick or treat, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're always trying to like switch up different mechanics and try different things every time. So yeah, I don't think lore is necessarily going to play a role in the trick or treat event.
No.
Okay, Snoop Dogg asks a really big question. Let me just try to repose it. He says, what are your thoughts on composability with other projects? Not in terms of utility, but in terms of allowing people to signal for their NFTs cosmetically, as they would in the real world. Cross-group signaling feels like... I'm butchering his question already.
Yeah. No, I see this.
Yeah, Dotta, I don't know. Maybe you can word it better than I am in a more succinct way.
I don't. Okay, so I think that like on this idea of composability for other projects, I love that idea. Like this idea of permissionless innovation is really important. So Halloween event is a good example, which is we didn't ask. I mean, we might have asked some, but like ultimately, we didn't ask any of the other projects to include their holders in our drop, right? And there, I don't mind sharing. Actually, there was at least one project that was like sort of miffed or something. Like they felt that we should have asked the founders permission before including them, and then Elf and I are just like, no, like this is Web3. Like you, like we don't have to ask your permission to do this because we're inviting you and we're inviting your holders. And so I think I really love that idea. Like that's part of what's special about Web3 is that it's a protocol that everyone can build on. In terms of this idea around like signaling being part of multiple communities, I don't really know. Like, I don't really have a good idea there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very interesting thought experiment and something that should definitely be explored. I mean, you know, this is what I love about the NFT space and blockchain in general is that the territory for exploration is just wide open.
I also think it's something that's being used by a lot of people. I mean, you know, look at 10KTF. Look at all of the games, the Web3 games that are like having other communities come and jump in. The interoperability, I think, yeah, it's like it's built into the DNA of this entire space. So, you can call it what you want. I think there's obviously benefits to it, but I think at the end of the day, we're doing it because, you know, we're like all tides rise ships, right? And so if we're all working together, it all helps everyone.
Okay, Queshmar asks another banger. Any thought on tax implications for fully on-chain Runiverse game and what that could mean for younger players? Man, I have no idea. Dotta, do you want to handle that one as well?
Oh man, do you have to pay taxes if you're a kid? You probably do, right?
I don't know.
I don't think. Well, I don't think so. I mean, I guess it depends on like the setup of the family. Like, are they dependents? And if they're dependents,
Right.
yeah, I don't really know.
How do like games? Are there other games that have secondary markets? Like, how does Diablo 2 deal with tax?
They do it all like illegally, essentially. Like, there's no marketplace. They don't.
That's what
they
we're
don't do it
gonna
on the
do.
actual thing.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Like,
I'm gonna charge my kids tax if they make money on anything.
I think that it's really just that, like, well, like you are obligated for your own taxes, and I don't like wherever you live, you need to pay your taxes, and I don't like. We're not going to build TurboTax into the Runiverse.
Yeah. Pay your taxes, Kesh, and your kids' taxes.
Yeah.
Sharon asks, what was your favorite childhood Halloween costume? That's a fun question.
Oh, my mom made me a Ninja Turtle costume, like outfit, and I love it. Yeah.
Like this year or when you were a kid?
Yeah, like last year. No.
Bear, what about you?
Am I dressing up this year?
Well, Sharon asks, no, childhood Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah. Well, my best costume was I had this massive shark stuffy. Like, it was 2 times the size of me. And I refused to give it up, and I would like drag it around the house. And one year, my mom got so pissed that I was like, she was always having to like drag it up to my room, that she basically just gutted it and turned it into a costume, so she could throw it out after Halloween.
That's amazing.
Yeah, wow.
That's great. Jitcy, what about you?
Sorry, what's up? One more time.
What was your favorite childhood Halloween costume?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, on the spot for that one, huh? I think mine was actually the Cat in the Hat from Dr. Seuss, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Yeah, I always love that.
Nice. I was Super Mario for Halloween. I love that. Emma asks, again, Emma's asking about IRL parties. So we don't have one planned, but Bear, I don't know if we're supposed to say this. You and I might go to an IRL event soon. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of stuff happening in Miami, of all places, right after Thanksgiving into the beginning of December, and so I think Elf and I are going to go down there, and I wouldn't say never say never. I have some friends down there who have places, and maybe we do a bit of a get together, but there's no like large scale events like we had at NFT NYC in like the near future.
Yep. But if you guys are going to be in Miami for this event, say hi. You might see Bear or I.
But not me, because I hate conferences.
Even in chat, I was like, hey, I think Elf, like I got Elf on a panel, and Joe was like, I don't know, and I'm just like, oh, you just don't want to go.
It was hard getting Dotta to just go to the party in NYC. So.
Yeah,
but you enjoyed yourself, did you not?
I loved the party. That was really fun.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the questions I'm seeing in the Discord. I want to address one other funny thing though that happened like right after Wizard Wednesday last week. Everybody started talking about Cucumb dogs again, and they were asking if there was going to be a Cucumb dog treat given away from the Nightmare Imp. And it's an interesting topic, and honestly, I don't know the right answer. It's more of just like something to just talk about. I feel like the Cucumb dog thing is such like a cult original, and it just feels weird for Magic Machine to make Cucumb dog NFTs, especially considering like the faux antagonism that we were expressing towards the Cucumb dogs during that one Wizard Wednesday. But I don't know, I could be wrong. What do you guys think? If you have opinions.
We already have the Cucumb dogs. You can't escape them anymore. So
also, I think Realize stated that he's leaving the cult if you do Cucum Dog treats. And we do love us some Realize, I will say that.
Yeah, no, but Dotta, I'm saying like I love that the cult made Cucum Dog stuff and they minted Cucum Dog stuff, but I don't think Magic Machine should do any Cucum Dog mints of any kind, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, this is the collaborative legendarium, but does that mean Magic Machine mints cult original ideas? I don't know. It's just such a weird thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I don't know.
We don't have to go.
I
too
feel like
deep
people
into
would be. I feel like people would be disappointed if they don't get if there's not, at least a few Cucum Dog treats.
See, there you go. That is counter to my beliefs in this. But
yeah.
Anyway,
so here's one of the fun things that will happen between Elf and I is we'll get into these discussions where like we already have like I don't know over 150 treats, right? We like build this entire world and we build this entire system and all the code and we like work so well together, and then until we like trip over like the smallest rock, which is like should we include a Cucum Dog in the treats? And it like does not matter left or right. But in our younger days, we would get into a knockout drag out fight because we both get very passionate about our respective perspectives. But I think we're doing better. I think that Bear actually helps mediate. It'd be kind of the
seriously.
I'm the middle child. I'm the middle
child. Bear's the middle child.
Oh my gosh. It happens all too often, let me tell you folks.
Okay, well, yeah, I've got a lot to say and reveal about Runiverse meta lore if there's no more on Cucum Dogs or anything else.
Please, yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So this might be a long soliloquy by me, but I think it's been a long time coming. So yeah, I want to dive deep into some Runiverse lore that I've been sitting on for a while now. Honestly, since the beginning. Because I get a ton of DMs from the cult, just asking very core questions about the Runiverse, and with a lot of it, I've been a little evasive answering directly because with a lot of it, my position has been that I want to save certain things for some big fun reveal in the show or the comic. But I don't know. I'm shifting on this. I'm coming to realize that there's just a lot of key things that need to be revealed sooner than later, because you all are just building and creating at an ever increasing rate. The Runiverse creation is going parabolic, and so keep that in mind that your creation rate is parabolic because it'll have meaning later. So but we just have to go over some of these core ideas, and I don't want to sit on them any longer. So well, and then just also, I think I want to do this actually more regularly in Wizard Wednesday. I want to talk about more meta lore more often. In fact, after Halloween, I really want to take some time to just dive deep into the Wikipedia and just fill out a lot of missing information. So look forward to that after Halloween. But today, I want to talk specifically about the creation of the Runiverse itself and about the timelines within it. And I want to talk about the Runiverse map and like the land formation. And I want to talk about where the wizards came from and where they are going. So, this is some pretty core stuff. So the first thing to know, of course, is that, like I always say, the Runiverse is a reflection of the IRL physical world. That this is big. This is almost everything. But it's not just a mere reflection. The Runiverse is a real place that exists right now. It exists in our collective brains, and it exists in the annex of our brains, the internet, aka cyberspace, aka the metaverse. And there will come a day when the veil between the metaverse and the meatverse is erased, literally. There is a futurist by the name of Ray Kurzweil. Some of you may know him. And he talks about this event that will occur in the year 2045. Not that long, not that far away. In 2045, there is an event called the technological singularity. This is a real thing. If you don't know what this is, it's an event where all technological progress will increase at such a rapid rate that it will go parabolic and will eventually be a vertical line, just like the pattern that the Runiverse is seeing right now. And so it's basically saying that all technological discovery and development will occur in a single instance, a singularity. And Kurzweil argues that the technologies that will allow this will be AI and quantum computing. Right now we are seeing AI reach new levels of creation that were not possible even like 2 months ago. So, AI is going parabolic. Quantum computing, I'm imagining, is right on the horizon. And there will probably be other technologies like robotics and genetics and nanotech and lots of other things. But anyway, Kurzweil says that this singularity event, when it occurs in the year 2045, the only way for humanity to survive is to merge our biological intelligence with artificial intelligence. Because at that time, AI will be so advanced that it will have the same sentience that we do, plus all of the advantages of a supercomputer. So yeah, this is a real event. This will happen. I think that we can speculate on if it will actually occur by 2045. We can speculate about the technologies that will make this happen. But to me, it seems that some version of this is inevitable at some point in our history. So how does this relate to the Runiverse? Well, if the Runiverse exists now in our heads and we are expressing it through our NFT characters in the Book of Lore, in iterations of the metaverse, then at the time of the singularity, when the internet realm, the internet realm will merge with our physical realm. Literally, the boundary between these two will be erased. And then the phrase, "I am my wizard and my wizard is me," will become a tangible reality. No longer will our PFPs be the face of our digital presence. It will be our physical face. Our flesh costumes will be hung in the closet to gather dust of the earth, and we will ascend the secret tower in our immortal and immutable digital skins. This is the meta lore of the Runiverse, and it is the lore of the future physical world. So now I want to talk about time. Time is a quantum Ouroboros. It's a wheel. It's a circle. It's not a line. So when we look at depictions of the Runiverse, say in the trailer or in the game or in the comic or any other depictions, one thing we notice is that there's this really curious mix of old and new technologies. The element of time does not seem to be working in a linear fashion here. Is it any wonder that we have time mages in the Runiverse? Chronomancer's Riviera is a hotbed of time manipulation. And as the Yellow Hats know, time flies when you're having fun and partying. It is my speculation that the Runiverse is actually planet Earth 1,000 to 2,000 years in the future. Which means the Runiverse denizens are looking at us from the blockchain through the currently impenetrable veil of cyberspace. They are literal avatars, a connection with us to another plane of existence. They look at our technology with curiosity. in our world, we look at past super advanced civilizations like Atlantis, and we wonder if they even existed. We look at things like the Library of Alexandria, and we wonder what was lost. We wonder if the Egyptians had electricity, or if aliens built the pyramids or the Mayan temples. And it's a shame that these lost civilizations did not have some form of immutable mark making, because there's always speculation about these ancient worlds and what they knew. And I suspect this is how the wizards in the Runiverse look at us. In fact, if you look at the land on the Runiverse map, the layout matches almost perfectly with the landmass on planet Earth when Earth was a singular supercontinent called Pangaea. Perhaps you might find our technological monuments buried under the sands of and the earth of the Runiverse. And perhaps the wizards sit perched in the desert like a crow, looking upon these primitive engines and wonder when the furnaces will be rekindled and their sonnets will wail once again. And so I think I'm going to stop there today, but there's honestly so much more that we need to talk about. There's a lot more to say about the singularity, and how runes themselves are singularities. There's a lot to talk about quantum style. I want to talk about dragons. I want to talk about the color hat factions, because I noticed a lot of chatter in the Discord about those. But I want to save all that stuff for future Wizard Wednesdays. But that's all I want to talk about now. Just like, the Runiverse's relation to our world, how time works, and who the wizards actually are. Lorepunk, you've got your hand up.
The hairs are rising up on the back of my neck, hearing you talk about this. I am deeply moved, and I'm vindicated in my understanding that, this project is my home project, not Punk's, because there's something special about it. And that the belief in what you're talking about is just so important. I've been involved in, aware of the singularity and stuff since I was about 15 years old. And all of my strident politics are to get us to the ships and to the upload.
Yep.
That's why I have those politics, and why I'm so terrified at what's going on in the world, and why I believe the metaverse is much more than other side or Web3, whatever. It's the conversations that we have in our Discord. It's the lore rewrite. It's this space. It's the conversations that you guys have as you're creating this project. And it's incredibly brave to come out and say what you just said, and I could hear the energy and emotion in your voice when you were talking about it. So I'm just really excited about taking what you've been talking about, which is concepts I know very well, and working it into some of the lore, some of the poetry and music that I write. And I just cannot be prouder to be a wizard, to be a member of this cult. After hearing what you've just said, and I think you understand how important it is. If anybody wants to learn about these concepts, I'm really happy to run some reading groups, to help people get some understanding, whether it's just for your lore or if you think it's something that might be useful in your own life. But again, just bravo, applause. Thank you for putting your cards on the table. I can't wait to see what the community does with this new revelation.
Yeah, I'm really, thank you for saying that, Margaret. It's just, this idea that the Runiverse is our world just works on so many different levels. I mean, on one hand, this is how we get continuity into the stories we tell, because we just are reflecting our real lives. It's one reason why all these mythological and historical archetypes are worked into these collections, because again, these are just reflections of the real world and real human history and human culture. And at the end of the day, what are archetypes but just reflections of our own psychology? Every archetype is just a component of what it means to be human. Um, I think Forgotten Runes is just a continuation of this grand tradition that has been with humanity since the beginning, and it's up to us to like see it on through the technical age and into the future. Um, there's always been a question of like, does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? And that's a question that's not meant to be answered like one way or another. It's just meant to cast a truth on how we perceive reality and how we represent reality. um, so yeah, I hope everybody can have fun like digging into these core tenets of the Runiverse, because really, it's like it might sound like a big reveal, but it's actually just like a return to the norm. It's a mean reversion into what art and literature and lore has always been. So yeah, but yeah, there's so much more to say. I could go on and on about the quantum shadow and so many other things, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out there.
I'm so happy you shared that because I've been wanting you to share for so long. It's said like this idea that the Runiverse is the same place that we live today. And I think it's just such a powerful concept.
Yep. But
Matto.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dotta.
Oh, I was just gonna say Matto came up. I don't know if you want to make any comments.
Oh, Matto. Hey.
Well, hey, no comments. Just I had to rejoin on my phone because my laptop is messing up on it.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean,
Awesome.
I love the drop and the lore drop and everything. I don't have any particular comments about it though, other than just it's great to. I actually am surprised I didn't recognize it was Pangea before the layout of the Runiverse currently. But I think that was actually pretty cool to look into.
Awesome. Yeah. It's funny because the Pangea map got leaked a few months ago, and I just feel like some of this stuff is going to get leaked anyway. So I just want to get it out there. But yeah, speaking of the Runiverse going parabolic, there's been some really great cult content this week. I mean, let's talk about the Forgotten Punks drop. How awesome was that?
So awesome.
So good.
So yeah, so much fun. I think that really just like took us all by storm. I don't know. I mean, I loved it, and I know that like once it dropped, the Discord and Magic Machine was just going crazy. Dotta, I think you like made a huge Forgotten Punks sweep.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it huge, but yes, I did. And yeah, I think what was interesting about punks too is like, nouns minted out. It was like a free mint. Well, I don't even think it minted out, right? It just like sat there for like a week before everyone minted it out. And then, well, I guess Baby Wizards sold out. And then Cucum Dogs, I think, is still open, which is a great project. And then I think Baron Court also has some inventory available. So I think that a lot of us just sort of felt like, oh, Forgotten Punks, like super cool, love the art, and we'll have some time. Like we'll have some time to go back and mint. And then I stepped away from my desk for like a minute to get a bowl of ice cream, and then I come back and they were like completely minted out. It was amazing. Like I loved it. Like and it's not like the floor price is so high, right? Everyone who wants one can still get one, but it was so fun. Like and I think just the art is so good, and like everyone likes punks, and it was really, really fun. So yeah, kudos to the team that put that together.
Yeah, I'm starting to have serious FOMO on all the quote unquote derivative collections like Forgotten Punks and the Babies and the Heroes of Cumberland, and the Nouns Wizards. Like I want to collect all of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to future derivative collections. Oh, the Baron. What is it? The Baron Court.
Baron Court. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say in the last month I got a noun wizard, which are not like they're not super cheap. Like there's not that many in the market. There's only like 15. I got some punks, of course. Got some. I actually bought a few more baby wizards to give to some friends. And I got like some Baron Court familiars. So like, yeah, it's really fun. I love seeing them. And like, one of the things I think was kind of questionable up front was like, are people okay? So here's the thing about this. I'm going to use the word derivative collections, but I think like everyone listening kind of understands our view, which is like cult content is like ours over official, right? Like it's not really derivative in the sense that it's like we're all creating Forgotten Runes together, but whatever. That's the term. That's the common term.
Yep.
And that like originally a lot of these kind of derivative projects are almost like just low effort projects, right? There's like doodle punks, and then there's like whatever, punk apes, and what. There's just like people are just trying to do something to make money for cheap. And one of the things I love about the wizard derivatives is that everybody wants one that kind of matches their wizard, because we already have built in this idea that like you are your wizard, like I'm my wizard and my wizard is me, and I want it in all forms, right? That's why we have walk cycles. That's not the original NFT. That's why we have the 3D models. That's not the original NFT. And that's why you want the punk version. That's why you want the noun version, right? When you have these other kind of interpretations of the same character, you want one that looks like who you are. And so it's not hard to imagine, Forgotten Runes in 10 years from now, the people that still love these wizards also wanting these derivative collections, because they are like kind of limited supply, right? So super, super fun. I really love everyone who makes these. So every time.
Yep. It's some of my favorite cult content. Um, Speaking of excellent cult content, I gotta hand it to Tanya Del Rio, a
Oh
true
yeah.
legendary wizard. This has been the best Inktober feed I've ever seen. Um, it's like I could call out individual illustrations that she's done so far, but every single one of them is amazing.
I'm
Um,
going to share them in the space.
yeah, Tanya, you're so freaking good. It's just I love it. I freaking love it. Um, so yeah, it's really been making my October. Um, Another really great piece of cult content was from the legendary Wise Sam. That little the needle felted wizard that
Oh
he
yeah.
made.
Yeah.
Ah, I love it. I just, we talk about alternate mediums, and I'm not sure that I've seen any needle felted cult content. This might be the first one I've seen, but it's so good. It's so good.
I
Um,
love needle felt. It's one like so many crafts where you just take these piles of fluff and needle, and then just like from these very fundamental pieces, you like turn it into life, right? You create a rabbit, or you create a horse, whatever. You create these characters, and so I think needle felt is really, really satisfying. Just
yep,
take these fundamental parts, right? The fur is like pixels, where you just take these like really simple things and then bring life into them. So
yep, yep. Yeah, I would love to learn how to do this. It's so cool. Okay, and then another great piece. I'm always talking about how much I love these little GIF films. And Sorcerer Hadrian of the Quantum Shadow made this hilarious GIF film of a goblin warrior asking a wizard warrior, or sorry, a wizard familiar, like directions, and like it turns out the rabbit familiar is the wizard, and their places got switched. I'm totally butchering the story, but watch the GIF film. It's really great. Um, and then speaking of amazing films, one of my favorite pieces from the last week was from Night Owl Birdman with Pimp Thy Pony. Um, so many great Runiverse memes and in jokes and references in this little video, including the song that Margaret made with SPZ, I believe it was. Did you see that one, Dotta and Bear?
No. Every
It.
time I watch Night Owl Birdman's stuff, I get mooned, and so I haven't watched it as much. But I gotta watch this one.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's incredible. It's just so creative. Like every 2 seconds, there's just a really fun, creative idea being expressed. Um, so yeah, well done, Night Owl. Always love your work. And then a really great soul commission that Vitruvian posted. Um, of his wizard being burned, and what I really like about it is this skeleton monkey that because that's one of the fun things about the whole burn event was not only did the wizards get transmuted, their familiars did as well. And so in this image there's a like a skeleton monkey just like leaping from the pyre, and it's just so dramatic and beautiful. I love this piece. And then Lin Hua did a really nice piece of three wizards in the thorn. It looks like they're crafting some spell in a cauldron. Really nice piece. Sorcerer Hadrian of the Quantum Shadow also did this really great. It's like it's a missing dog poster, except it's not a dog; it's a cockatrice. Um, I would love to print this out and hang it up in the real world, like on the street. Super good stuff. And then Oz did a really great illustration of a soul. Oz, I love these like full body, high res pixel illustrations you do of the characters. They're so good, so dramatic, just beautiful. And then Noodle Arms of Moron Global. There looks to be really fun like Denny's meme happening right now, that I think Magus Wazir is involved in somehow. It's got this particular one has Edward Hopper's famous painting Nighthawks, except it's got a bunch of wizards and warriors sitting on the inside of the cafe, and then the one who rings is on the outside crying. Um, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I love it.
I think it's that he doesn't like Denny's.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I'm outside with you, Waz.
Oh yeah, so I think that they are basically saying that he's being too picky, so he can be outside while they all have fun inside.
That's great. That's great. Well, I don't know about you, but I'd rather eat at Macwazir's than Denny's. So
I love Mac Wazir's. By the way,
I don't mind it. I like Denny's.
There's something cooking, pun intended, with Mick Wazir's. We may have made some Mick Wazir's visors, and so we're gonna have a fun little thing going on the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out if you want to have your own Mick Wazir's visor. They exist, and there's going to be a bit of a challenge taking place soon. So keep your eyes peeled.
fun. I actually not sure if I knew about that. I know you mentioned it, but I feel like there's more than what I know.
Oh, there's definitely. I was on a call with Locke and Jitcy this morning. Lots of fun stuff. Lots of just know that there are. How do I put this? There are opportunities to help craft what kind of food is served at McWazir's. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it in our Discord.
Speaking of fun merch, we also have a kick-ass T-shirt coming out. It might be one of the best ones we've done.
Is Locke in here?
Yeah, I was gonna have her mention it, but I can't find her.
I see her typing in the secret tower.
She's ordering
the Well, I'll speak on her behalf.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, there is a T-shirt. Yes, it is so metal I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
There's also some other items in there that are fall themed. We're making. Oh God, dude, Denny's. It's a bit of like a capsule drop, if you will. So it's all themed, and you will find out about it and be able to order. They'll go quickly, but it looks like on Halloween we will be announcing that. So very exciting.
And I'm not putting a secret NFT in there, so because we're too busy with the regular Halloween event. So just so you know, there's no secret pony or whatever in the Halloween drop.
Yeah, but Dotta, last time you said that there actually was. So.
Oh no,
You just challenged yourself.
I know. Oh man, you guys.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no. I think we'll say more about that maybe in a later Wizard Wednesday. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. We've got 5 minutes left. Do we have a lore read? Do we have anything else?
I mean, do we give a shout out to the Runiverse team for putting out that incredible
battle,
the blog that sort of laid into all of the stuff, and then Dotta, you followed it up with one of your epic tweets.
Shout out to the Runiverse team. So the combat in the Runiverse game is, well, they just released a blog post. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you should. So they posted tons of new artwork. Basically, the game is like parties of 4, and there's like a cooldown bar for all of the moves that you can make. And so how it basically works is you load up with sort of your abilities before you go into battle. You wander the overworld, and then you engage with enemies as you want. Then you can upgrade your stats and gain XP and get more abilities. So there's some really beautiful artwork there of like the enemies and an entrance to a dungeon and what it looks like to join a party. So many really great things that they've done. The art there is really, really good. We actually got as a team, a alpha preview, a playable alpha preview. So the Magic Machine team has been playing the game a little bit this week. It's still very early insofar as we play for 5 minutes and then see some things that we can improve. But I think overall we're super happy with the art direction. They have done such a good job at trying to remain true to the lore of the world, and they're so good about kind of integrating our feedback. And so very excited about the Runiverse game. I think that they're actually releasing another blog post within the next week or so. Yeah. I should talk to them about releasing it on Fridays. I feel like Mondays are kind of oh yeah, Matto's here. I feel like Mondays maybe are a little bit kind of better than Friday. Lorepunk and Matto, you both. Lorepunk, go ahead.
I'm sure Matto can talk more about this. All I wanted to do was remind people that the Runiverse game has got a lore contest going on that's running till the end of October, and you can win Runiverse merch, and you can also win the fact that your story is drawn by some of their artists, and you all get a POAP if you submit a story. So that's going on in their Discord.
Fun.
The other thing I wanted to say just about the game is, because I know whenever there's a blog posted, we get a ton of questions, and sometimes we can't answer that because sometimes we can't answer these questions because it is a work in progress, right? Like Dotta said, we see things, we comment, so it's still a bit fluid, and of course we want to make sure that this game hits as hard as we all want it to hit. So if we ever feel like we're being cagey, it probably just means that we're just still, making sure that it's being built in the right way.
Matto.
Hey everyone. Yep. So thank you so much for the shout out. Definitely want to confirm that we do have another production blog update coming up this Friday. I will definitely relay that to the team. I also agree. I think Monday is a better high traffic day for getting the word out. Weekends and Fridays tend to be low in terms of weekends and tends to be low in terms of how much things can spread on Twitter. So I'm going to probably send that their way. And thank you again. Thank you so much, Margaret, for giving the shout out to the lore contest we have going. Like she said, it's going on all month. We're gonna be revealing artists that are working on that. Tomorrow I'm gonna reveal the first artist that's gonna be working on that. And as an update, we also by request, originally the idea was that your story would get illustrated, but by request it doesn't have to be related to your story. Like if you submit a story, you get like a winning story or whatever, and like let's say you want like a warrior to illustrate that wasn't a part of that story, that's perfectly fine. We'll be flexible for whatever request you have as long as you submit. But you like, if you submit something that we like, that'd be great. And aside from that, all of your pretty much we've been getting a lot of feedback in the Discord. I've been feeding into the team every now and then when I see some feedback about how wizards are integrated. I saw some ideas about perhaps maybe wizards can have a custom UI that's different from like regular players, and that's something that's it's a nice little perk that's not really anything game breaking or anything, particularly if you have if you have like high affinity or something, maybe like a water UI or something like that. If you have a high water affinity wizard, these are all ideas that are kind of like they're cool ideas, and I keep the ideas coming because this is still very early in development. I mentioned that if any of these ideas get implemented, it may be like down the line after the first release, but just having them like in our ballpark is perfectly fine. So I appreciate any ideas that you have for the game, because it may snake through later on down the line.
Cool, thank you.
Right on. I guess we've reached our time. Anything else, guys?
No, we're good.
Solid.
Dotta, can you start the outro music? I love when Dota's in charge of music. This has been Elf Dotta, Bearsnake, Tanya Del Rio, Lorepunk, Matazuki, Jitcy, and all the wizards of the Runiverse putting their rune on the door. GN, everybody.